Suri Cruise spent her early years being followed around by paparazzi, but little is known about her now. So what's she been up to? Whether it's giving her mom fashion tips or belting out musical numbers, the creative teen is clearly thriving. When Katie Holmes gave birth to Suri Cruise at St. John's Hospital on April 18, 2006, another expectant star was there awaiting the arrival of her little one, Brooke Shields. The model initially thought the helicopters hovering around outside were there for her. She recalled on the Jenny McCarthy show, "I was like, this is an outrage. Who alerted the media? Can I just have a baby?" Shields' daughter Greer was born on the same day as Suri. Because Tom Cruise and Shields were able to make nice after their depression meds disagreement, Suri reportedly scored an invite to Greer's first birthday party. According to People, the two became such close confidants that they started hanging out regularly and wearing matching clothes. An insider told People, Suri and Greer love spending time together. They even nap in the same crib. By 2008, Suri had made friends with a few other celebrity kids. People reported that she and her parents spent Thanksgiving that year with David and Victoria Beckham. David and Victoria's son Cruise is just 1 year older than Suri, and it didn't take long for the National Enquirer to conjure up a story about Suri crushing on Cruise. A source told the tabloid, "She lights up whenever he's around." Perhaps you noticed that Suri was usually wearing skirts and dresses back when she was followed constantly by paparazzi. According to her dad, there was a reason for this. Tom Cruise told Grazia in 2008, "I'd put a pair of pants on her, and the next minute I turn around, and the pants are off and a dress is on." Apparently, Suri also found her mom's taste in pants questionable. In a 2011 interview with Elle, Katie Holmes revealed, "Today I'm wearing brown suede pants, and Suri said, 'I don't like your pants.'" The red dress Holmes wore to the 2008 Met Gala seemingly met Suri's approval, but her choice of footwear did not. When allowed to work her magic, Holmes' mini stylist settled on a pair of blue heels with pointy toes. In a 2010 New York Magazine interview, Holmes recalled, "Suri made me put them on, and so I was like, okay, I trust you." The Met Gala theme that year was superheroes, fashion and fantasy. So perhaps the then 2-year-old realized that the red and blue combo would give her mom's look a Wonder Woman vibe.
She's a sophisticated little girl and magical.
In 2011, Suri Cruise started kindergarten at the New Village Leadership Academy, or NVLA, in Calabasas. The private school was founded by Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. Students were reportedly allowed the luxury of learning at their own pace, which was a big benefit for a busy jet-setter like Suri. It meant that she could play hooky to attend New York Fashion Week with her mom without having to worry about getting behind in her studies. There were whispers that the NVLA had ties to the Church of Scientology. In an interview with the Daily Beast, ex-Scientologist Leah Remini called it a Scientology school, and former teachers claimed that students were taught using Scientology materials and methods. However, a rep for the NVLA told X17 that the academy was unaffiliated with Tom Cruise's religion.
"I think it's a privilege to call yourself a Scientologist."
There was also speculation that Suri's schooling factored into her parents' split. After Holmes filed for divorce in 2012, a former Scientology official explained to The Independent, "Suri is coming to an age where she gets educated enough to get locked into the faith." That same year, Holmes enrolled Suri in Avenues, a pricey Manhattan private school. A year after it lost its star pupil, the NVLA shut down. In 2008, the Daily Mail had readers questioning whether it was wrong for 2-year-old Suri to still be drinking out of a baby bottle. The outlet even wrote a story on the subject with a headline that read, "Aren't you a bit old for that bottle, Suri Cruise?" ABC News, meanwhile, reminded its readers that the recommended age for eliminating bottle feeding is 12 months. The news network also consulted with a medical professional who said that prolonged bottle use can cause dental problems. In 2011, critics found another reason to pounce on Cruise and Holmes for their parenting decisions when Suri was photographed with a pacifier in her mouth. She was 5 years old at the time. Fox News even interviewed pediatrician Dr. Ari Brown, who said it was a bad idea for kids Suri's age to still be using a pacifier because they might develop a bad habit. Brown told Fox News they don't explore with hands, but instead put everything in their mouth and are therefore picking up a lot more germs. But in a blow to Suri's haters, the youngster actually became a trendsetter. 2 other celeb kids, Harper Beckham and Moroccan Cannon, also used pacifiers past age 4. When she was still just a toddler, Suri taught us some valuable style lessons, such as how an Elmo doll is the ideal accessory for a red Dolce & Gabbana coat. But one person who wasn't impressed with Suri's style was Project Runway host Tim Gunn. He told Access in 2010, "She's her mother and father's dress-up doll, and I feel in many ways she's a fashion victim." He also commented on Suri's famous toddler-sized high heels, saying, "It's really inappropriate." At age 3, Suri slipped on a wet Boston sidewalk and lost a silver heel. After seeing photographs of Suri's fall, fall, podiatrist Dr. Oliver Zong told Fox News that her choice of footwear put Suri at risk of being injured. He added, "A pair of heels that is too tight could damage the growing bones of her feet." However, Katie Holmes told Access that Suri's shoes were designed to be safer than your average heel. She told Access, "They are actually ballroom dancing shoes for kids." Holmes also had to explain photos of Suri looking cold without a coat in freezing weather. She told InStyle that her daughter had simply refused to wear any of her many designer jackets. She recalled, "I said, 'Suri, I'll take the hit. Just put it on when you get cold.'" In 2011, Suri was photographed holding a box of candies that you might see used as a cocktail garnish at a bachelorette party. The label on the box clearly said penis gummies, an accurate description of the sweets' anatomical shapes. Holmes and her daughter were at the popular New York restaurant Serendipity 3, which is known for its decadent desserts. During an appearance on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, Holmes said she was unaware that the eatery sold X-rated sweets as well. She recalled, "We're waiting for a table, and she grabbed some gummies that are boy part gummies, and I was horrified." Holmes claimed that Serendipity 3 is a kid-oriented establishment, but a rep for the restaurant told Radar that this is untrue. The rep also expressed concern that the gummies incident would make Holmes reluctant to bring Suri there again. The rep added, "Suri is the cutest and so well behaved, and she's a princess." However, she's also been photographed screaming over ice cream and sporting smeared chocolate on her face. So Holmes probably should have made sure to always keep a watchful eye over young Suri whenever there were sweets in the vicinity.
You know, every mom can relate to that.
When Suri was born, her parents' spokesperson released a statement saying that her name meant princess, and she certainly lived up to it. Suri made her first visit to Disneyland in 2009. Holmes later said that a highlight for Suri was getting to meet various Disney characters. She told Us Weekly she loves the princesses. Actually, she loves being a princess.
She's just a good person. She's just sweet.
Suri got the princess treatment for her 3rd birthday that year when her parents presented her with a Beauty and the Beast cake. She also rocked a Princess Jasmine costume during a 2013 trip to Disney World. The year prior, her dad had arranged for her to have the ultimate Disney princess fan experience, staying in the theme park's Cinderella Castle suite. According to People, the suite can't be reserved by anyone, so Tom likely had to receive a special invitation from Disney. In July 2012, the Daily Mail published photos of Suri pouting as she was told that she couldn't take home an adorable puppy from City Pups in New York City. Suri then reportedly left the pet store in tears. It turns out that Holmes couldn't hold out forever, and in 2014, she allowed Suri to welcome a new fur baby into their home. Unfortunately, Suri's rescue chihuahua, Honey, went missing a few weeks later. Desperate to be reunited with her beloved dog, Suri put posters up in the neighborhood promising a reward of $1,000 for her safe return. However, this lost pet story has a happy ending. The employees of a local dog rescue found the lucky pooch just a few days after she went missing. By age 3, Suri had already begun taking tap dancing and ballet lessons. Her mom predicted to InStyle in 2011, "I think she's going to do a lot of different things. She's an amazing athlete, singer, and dancer, and I think she'll probably be an actress."
I know myself more because of her.
Suri reportedly made at least one attempt at learning how to play an instrument as well. A source told Page Six that she spoke to Broadway actor Alex Brightman after watching him perform in School of Rock, the musical, in 2016. According to the outlet, Suri told him that she tried taking guitar lessons at some point. However, she ended up firing her instructor. The insider revealed to Page Six she said she was a very nice person, but that it didn't work out. In 2014, Katie Holmes spoke to People about the nurturing home environment she had created for Suri, revealing, "I also try to be very creative with her because I know she's an artist." There was some evidence that Holmes' emphasis on the arts was paying off too. In December 2023, Suri landed a major role in a school play. According to Page Six, she was cast in The Addams Family, a new musical, as Morticia Addams. As the outlet noted, one play attendee called Suri's performance amazing. So perhaps Holmes' prediction about her daughter's future profession is spot on.
Other than that, she's a 16-year-old kid doing high school.
Since Suri's parents have admitted to indulging some of her whims, there have been plenty of rumors about just how lavish her life really is. Her dad even told Oprah, "Whatever she wants to wear, she wears it. I'm not going to tell her different." And in 2008, a source told E! News that Suri didn't just do as she pleased when it came to picking out her trendy apparel. The insider claimed, "Tom does whatever Suri wants. He defers to her on everything." According to a 2010 report by Star Magazine, Suri's nannies also had to let the young girl have her way. This included everything from allowing Suri to practice her makeup makeup application skills on their faces to serving her sweets in the middle of the night. While tabloid tales aren't always true, there is evidence that Suri's parents didn't treat her like a typical toddler. But according to Holmes, her daughter doesn't spend all day shopping and ordering nannies around. Holmes told Marie Claire in 2010, "If she doesn't get her chores done, I notice she's not really herself. She has to make her bed, she has to take her dishes to the sink, she has to put her clothes in the laundry." A month after Holmes' marriage to Cruise ended in 2012, Tom took Suri Cruise to Disney's Typhoon Lagoon water park in Florida. He was photographed being an attentive dad during the outing. The father and daughter had a fun day and even splashed around in the pool together. In 2016, however, Us Weekly reported that Tom and Suri hadn't been spotted together again since then. When Tom took Bauer Media Group to court over an In Touch report claiming that he had abandoned Suri, he was forced to admit that his involvement with the Church of Scientology was a contributing factor in Holmes' decision to divorce him. According to The Hollywood Reporter, he confirmed in a 2013 deposition that Holmes felt like she needed to shield Suri from the religion. While Holmes has remained tight-lipped about Tom's relationship with Suri, she did have her rep deny a 2014 report claiming that Suri had visited her dad on Christmas Day. The rep told E! News, Holmes and Suri spent Christmas afternoon visiting children at a local hospital in LA. Almost a decade later, a source told Page Six that Suri and her father were still estranged and had been for a long time. When Suri was just 2 years old, her dad told Extra that she was fond of singing. In an alternate universe, maybe the father and daughter would have performed together in a Rock of Ages sequel. After all, in an interview with The Mirror, Cruise said that one reason he wanted to play a rocker is because Suri and her mom both love musicals. But it was Holmes who would eventually convince Suri to showcase her singing talent in one of her projects. Suri sings the wistful classic Blue Moon in Alone Together, a 2022 film written and directed by her mom. However, she doesn't appear in the movie. Her vocals are featured in its opening credits. In an interview with Yahoo Entertainment, Holmes praised her daughter's performance, saying,
I always want the highest level of talent, so I asked her. She's very talented.
The end credits of Holmes' 2023 movie, Rare Objects, also features Suri singing. And if her mom gets her way, we'll be hearing a lot more of it in the future. Holmes told Glamour, "I hope she always does something on my films. I always ask her. It was very meaningful to me to have her there, because she's my heart." There was once a rumor that Taylor Swift was going to star alongside Tom Cruise in Rock of Ages, but it was Katie Holmes that she ended up working with. After starring alongside Swift in the 2014 movie The Giver, Holmes had nothing but praise for the pop star. Holmes told Extra,
I mean, she's so smart, she's so young, she's really brilliant, and she works very, very hard.
In other words, she's exactly the type of role model a mom would want her tween to have. And we're betting that Holmes scored some major brownie points with Suri when she allowed her to introduce Swift at iHeartRadio's Jingle Ball in 2017. For the occasion, Suri wore a blue star print dress that looked like something Swift herself might pick out. While holding hands with her daughter, Holmes said, "She's one of our favorite performers, and who is it tonight?" Suri then shouted Swift's name. Suri might be angling for a girl squad spot these days, but there was a time when she was all about that girl power. Thanks to her mom's friendship with Victoria Beckham, she got to meet the Spice Girls in 2007. The girl group even performed for Suri and her parents. A post on the band's website read, "Suri danced along to the music." Katie Holmes didn't wait until her daughter was in high school to begin showing her Dawson's Creek, the teen soap series she starred in for 6 seasons. Holmes told Variety that Suri started watching the series sometime after the pandemic hit, so she was either 13 or 14. Holmes told the outlet, "I think it's probably weird since she's a teenager. I'm not like, you need to watch mommy's work. Some teens might become embarrassed by watching their mom pretend to fall in love on TV. But that wasn't the case with Suri." Holmes told the outlet, "We had a good laugh about it." Before Suri decided to check out a TV time capsule of the late 90s and early aughts, she became a big fan of movie musicals, and one of her favorites starred John Travolta. Cruise told the Los Angeles Times in 2011, "My daughter has seen Hairspray 15 times." Suri also loved watching the 1999 made-for-TV Annie movie. There's no question that Holmes has a strong relationship with her daughter. She told InStyle, "I love her so much. My biggest goal has always been to nurture her into her individuality, to make sure she is 100% herself and strong, confident, and able." Holmes and Suri are also pretty inseparable. They've attended many Broadway shows together, including Cats and Finding Neverland. On occasion, Holmes will also take Suri backstage to meet the casts of the plays. In 2023, Suri was even photographed with her mom as she celebrated her 45th birthday.
She makes every day great.
When Holmes opens up about what she and Suri enjoy doing together, she often describes activities they do at home. In a 2013 Us Weekly interview, she shared that she and Suri like to make their own bouquets for Valentine's Day. The actress also told Amazing Magazine that she and Suri spent their lockdown cooking and working on quilts together. The mom and daughter even exercise together sometimes. Holmes said in a 2022 interview with Shape, "But I don't force her to work out with me because I know that's lame." In addition to being Suri's bestie, Holmes tries to be a good mom by leading by example. She told People, "Between tickle fights and glitter art, I try to throw in some manners along the way."